I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner.
Hello, Mile High. Good to be here. So, just a couple of housekeeping things. When I speak, I get nervous, and two things happen. I drink a lot of water, and I pee a lot. So, for my friends that are sitting in the first row, if you need to change your sheets, go ahead and do so. I put together what I think is an exceptional PowerPoint presentation that's focusing, and in fact, when I say incredible, it's Schubel quality. And so if you don't know about that, it's really the highest of highest quality, just to ask them. And if it happens to suck, it's because there's not enough oxygen in the room, okay? We can start, and only in Colorado. This wasn't a part of my PowerPoint presentation, but as I was getting ready this morning on TV in Colorado, it just, it was just amazing. They were talking about this new drink over here that they have called Legal. And I thought, wow, it was pretty amazing that they've actually have taken marijuana now in Colorado and put it in soft drinks and into coffee. And the interesting thing that kind of hit me is that the quote on it was great. It was great marketing. It said, something about being one with your couch. And I thought, wow, that was kind of interesting. Only in Colorado. I'm going to talk about communications. And just a little bit about myself, very brief, because I'm not really here to talk about me. I'm really here to talk for you, to give you some ideas about how you could go back tomorrow and succeed in practice. It's been my journey, it's been my goal to empower chiropractors. Why? Because the more successful you are in practice, the more you're able to give back to our incredible profession. And one of the things that I found in my life is that communications is really essential in understanding what we're communicating and actually communicating that. And it came about not because of great wisdom, it came about because of necessity. In the early 60s, I was a test case at Temple University in New York. I worked with a doctor by the name of C.L. Pollack. And when I was young, really young and non-adaptive, my parents really didn't get chiropractic, understand chiropractic. I struggled as a kid. I wasn't able to color in between the lines. I really struggled with a lot of things that I wasn't, at that time they thought that I was mildly retarded. And as I started to really lose pace in school, what happened was this program came out where they started to understand dyslexia. And I was a test case. I was one of the people that they actually chose in this model to work with strategies at the time with very limited knowledge that they had back in the 60s and 70s. And so what they did with me is they sent me to Hebrew school for 3 years, thinking that if I at least learned how to read backwards, like they do in Hebrew, that at least I was learned. And it was a failed project because what happened was my parents didn't speak Hebrew. So I would go home frustrated and not really being able to make anything of it. And I wound up, my friends moved ahead and it became a source of frustration for me. I got into chiropractic, and it was amazing. It changed my life. I'm not going to go into the whole story that for another time, but it really changed my life. And at this point in my life, I really wanted to become a chiropractor, but I had this inborn fear, these self-imposed limitations, because at this point in my life when all my friends were graduating, I just dropped out of school. I didn't have a use for it. My friends were all gone. I didn't know anybody. I felt, like I was always behind and inadequate. And so I'd spoken to my chiropractor, and he said, he's an incredible being, and that's a story for another time. But he said to me, your whole life has changed. You're more adaptive. You can do it. You can actually do it if you really put your mind to it. And I went to chiropractic school, and I graduated in 2001, high honors, and graduated magna cum laude. But when I got into practice, thank you. When I got into practice, I struggled. I literally struggled. And I couldn't understand it. I mean, I got all these great awards when I graduated from Parker. You know, I understood our philosophy. And one day, you know, my wife was outside of my office listening to me, and she said, "Did you hear what the hell you just said to these people?" And I thought in my mind it was very clear, because everything in my mind is very clear. But part of the way that it shows for me is that, you know, on the outcome, it's not always what I'm thinking. So I really started to look and say, man, I just graduated. I spent all this money, this time. I love this, but I really need to find a way to effectively learn to consistently communicate a message. And so I had a great message to communicate. I just didn't know how to communicate it. So in my practice, what I've really done over many years, I didn't script it. It's all very real. Is that I've created ways for me to be able to communicate in the things that I do to be successful in doing it. So I just wanted to share a little bit of this with you in hopes that maybe there's something you could take away here this week and that'll actually make a difference in your practice and in your life. So communications is the key to effectively building a successful practice. For me, might be a little different for you. You might have had other strategies to do it, but communications was the thing that really built my practice. Communications,